Today, 5 simple mistakes that artists make and ways to fix them. Plus, music by Ben Harrell. Welcome to the Christian Musicpreneur Podcast, where we provide tips, tools, techniques, and resources to help you grow your ministry. I'm your host, Simone Henry, a business coach and mentor for independent Christian recording artists. My topic, which is 5 simple mistakes that you may be making and how to fix them. And these are some things that people have been asking me a lot lately. Like, what are mistakes that artists are just kind of constantly making, and stuff that I see all the time that artists are doing that need to be fixed, that they can fix, that they're constantly needing help on, stuff like that. So one of the first things is having your videos playing on YouTube, but there's no copyright claim. I have asked my tribe to send me video links to add to my podcast, because I want to showcase an artist for each of my podcast episodes. And so I asked them to share a link with me. And I went to one person's link and there was no copyright claim on the video. And the simple way to fix that is to go to your distributor and make sure that you have YouTube monetization turned on. What I found out recently is that YouTube is killing it when it comes to paying artists for their art. When you have YouTube monetization turned on, and other people, not you, but other people are sharing your videos on their channels or sharing you're using some of your music in their video, then YouTube will turn on monetization on that video and will play an ad with that video. And then the person who has that copyright claim will get some money get some revenue from that advertising. I found out recently that YouTube last year has paid artists double what they paid the year before. And it's because they're not just paying for streaming like Spotify and some of these other streaming channels, but artists are also getting paid for the ads. Hey, John. So if you don't want to miss out, you don't want to leave money on the table, then you want to make sure that you have that YouTube monetization turned on, and that when people are sharing your videos, and that you're going to that there's a copyright claim on that, and that you're going to get paid from the advertising that is associated with your video. I always used to say, if I put out a video and your video is attached to my video, and I say something controversial and my video goes viral, you want to make sure that you are paid for that you are getting monetized. Because the more the video is streamed, the more the ads are going to run with the video and the more money is generated. So don't leave the money on the table, okay? Monetize your YouTube. I know with CD Baby, it's very easy to do. It's just a checkbox. You'll have to check if you're using DistroKid or TuneCore or something else to make sure that YouTube monetization is turned on. Okay? Number 2, you are spamming a list of 100 people with your latest release. And those 100 people are in the to field of the email. This is a no-no. Don't ever do this. When you're taking the time to put together a nice email to pitch your latest release, your latest single, your latest album, you want it to be well received. You don't want to get blacklisted or spammed, or, just have it thrown away and don't, and people not paying any attention, right? You want to be well received. So my suggestion for this is that list of 100 people that you have in the to field. First of all, take them out. Check to see if those folks have a website. Visit their website and check their submission guidelines. If they're a radio station, if they're a PR firm, if they're a podcast host, a blog host, or something like that, make sure that you are checking their submission guidelines. Check to see if they're even, receiving music, if they're accepting music right now. Check to see what their guidelines are. Maybe they have a form for you to fill out on the site. Maybe they have a special email address that you're supposed to be using. Maybe they want you to send it as a WAV instead of an MP3. Maybe they would rather have you just post a link to your Dropbox where they can download it. Maybe they want to just listen to it first before you send it to them. So they want the Spotify link or something. Check these things out before you send somebody your music. Make sure that they even want your style of music, right? Check out the show. Check to see if they're just putting an email, maybe check to see if there is a specific person you should be addressing the email to. Don't just write a big, block email to 100 people and say, hello, friends. You don't want to do that. You want it to be well received. You want to make sure that they are actually interested in your music first and that you are following their rules. Everybody has a different process. For my submission, I set up a form on my site, and I actually set up in my free Facebook group, I set up a post where artists can drop their YouTube link. And if I'm interested in showcasing the song, I am going to send them a link where they can fill out the form and give me more information. And I like doing it that way because that information goes onto a specific list where I can just kind of go down the list and listen to each song at my leisure. And I can grab the videos when I need to. So that's my process. Other people will have a different process. Okay. So another mistake that artists make, rushing your release. You may have set a date for your release, but you didn't set it far out enough. Or when you set a release date, it's not public yet, but you still want to release on that date. But you haven't allowed enough time for your submission company to actually do its approvals. Because if anything goes wrong and they come back to you and say, hey, we need this to be corrected or that to be corrected, that takes time. I had an experience with an artist recently where they set up the release, but their previous work has been kind of entangled with some other artists, and that needs to be untangled. That kind of stuff takes time. And when you're doing a new release and you want it to be done, you want it to be done right, and you want it to be done, you don't want to have problems with it, right? And you want to make sure that it goes out everywhere and your marketing is set up for it and everything. Allow yourself enough time to get all of that done before you announce your release. You may want to do like a pre-release date, and by the time that date gets here, you want to make sure that you have everything done, and then announce a later date for that your fans know. Announce a later date publicly. And by that date, you'll actually be ready to have the release done and, it's ready for everybody to see. Okay, so here is another one. Only looking at terrestrial radio and other major media platforms to promote your music. Now, this is something that I see artists doing all the time. So much of the time when artists come to me and they say, I need to promote my music, and, I want it to go out to all the radio stations. And full stop, end of sentence, that is all that they think about when it comes to promoting their music. Well, terrestrial radio and other major media platforms are not the only ways that are available to you to promote your music. So there's email. And when I say email, your email list, you want to make sure that the people who already know you and like you and have maybe bought stuff from you before know about the new release. You want to also look at blogs, look at your local newspapers, look at smaller magazines that feature artists. Look at internet radio. Internet radio is always looking for new music, fresh music. The terrestrial stations tend to play the major artists, and they tend to have a lot of commercials. And then there's the talk shows and all that kind of stuff. So there isn't always room for new music. So make sure that you are looking at other avenues. I also look at Facebook ads, right, for promoting your release. It's a cost-effective way to get in front of lots of eyeballs and into lots of ears. Okay, here is my last one. Waiting to be discovered or waiting to get a distribution deal. My only advice for you on this, don't wait. What are you waiting for? We live in a world now. We live in more of a Shark Tank world, right? Have you ever watched Shark Tank? Do you know how they operate? The business owner, CEO, walks into this room. They walk down this long hall and they come in, they stand before the sharks. All these wealthy people who have the money that they want. And they stand there and they make their best pitch. We've got this fabulous new service. We've got this great product. Everybody's going to love it. Look at all these brilliant colors. Look at the styling. It tastes great. All this great stuff, right? And they stand there, they make their pitch. And one of the questions that the sharks always ask them is, how much money are you already making? Isn't that interesting? The business owner has come to them asking for money, and the sharks are asking them, how much are you already making? That's the same thing that the labels are asking. And it's also the same thing that sponsors are asking. If you're looking for a sponsor, and this is something I'm hearing a lot from my African brothers and sisters, I want a sponsor for my music. A sponsor is going to ask you, how many fans do you have? Because if I'm going to sponsor you as a business owner, if I'm going to sponsor you, I'm going to want to make sure that you have an audience that will showcase my thing, my product, my service. If you're waiting to be discovered or, for a distribution deal, my answer to that is stop waiting for a distribution deal. You can distribute it yourself. There are services available online. You pay a fee and bam, there you go. There's your distribution deal. your songs, your album goes out everywhere. It shows up on YouTube Music, shows up on Amazon, shows up on Apple, shows up on Deezer, shows up on eMusic. It shows up on all these places, Spotify, all these places, some that I've heard of and some that, hardly anybody's ever heard of, but it's out there. So there is no reason really to be sitting around and waiting. Time is a very precious thing. Once the time passes, you can't get it back. So don't waste time waiting. Get out there, share your music, and interact with people, gather fans to you, and start building up your fan base. So those are my simple mistakes that artists make all the time and some ways that you can fix them. I am a coach for independent Christian music artists. And I am coachable. I have a coach myself. I know that having a coach helps me to elevate and accelerate and build my brand and expand. A lot of you are seeing me now because I have been working with a coach for a while, and she's changed my mindset about a lot of different things. I suggest that you get a coach, because a coach will do the same things for you. I want to be your coach. If you are ready to up-level your ministry, to start expanding your fan base, learning how to engage with them on a regular basis and in better ways, if you are interested in monetizing your fan base and bringing in a regular income into your ministry, turning your ministry into a thriving business, then I am ready to talk to you. Go to my website, eshemusic.com, and click the link at the top that says book a call and schedule a time to talk with me. I will be happy to speak with you, and we can talk about how one of my programs will help you. That is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
I'm standing here, wondering how, wondering why you saved me. All the things I said, the things I've done, you know my past, and I'm not worthy, but I thank you. Time after time, I'm amazed you love me. For all the times I failed and broke your heart,
Thanks for listening to the Christian Musicpreneur Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, it would mean a lot to me if you would like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Feel free to share your takeaways in the comment section below and join my free Facebook group, Christian Recording Artists Seeking Freedom. See you next time, and remember to take action and never give up.